Hi, ladies. I know. I know. You're all mad that you have to be inside today. You don't have to be. I mean, you could go out, but you choose not to go out. Why is there an egg right there on the ground? Who laid that? We've been active in here today, it looks like. All right, you guys. I don't see any in there. Only 5, 6, 7. Eight, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Hey, Simpson. There's Simpson the Stimson pigeon. 14, 15, 16, 17. Hey, Mama. Oh, you good girl. You good girl. Let me see what you got. Oh, you got some eggs today. Good girl. 18. 19. 20, 21, 22. 23, 24. 25, 26, 27, and 28. 28 eggs in this kind of weather, I'm more than happy with, and I still have more. Always feel around, sometimes I'll cover them up. 32, 31. I can't math. Listen to that wind. Brutal. I'd say that's more like 35 and 40 mile an hour wind. Alright, you birds. Oh crap, the flap opened back up. I have to go through all that again. That wind is really something else. Hey, bunny rabbit. Hey, bun bun. Let's get you some pellets. You good boy. There you go. Give you a little more since it's cold. Hello, buddy. Hello, buddy. Oh, you're shy. Some pellets for you. More. Bunny rabbits. Hey guys, I'll get you some food. You good bunnies. You good bunnies. Hi. Good bunnies. Get in there. Watch your ears. There you go. Okay, that's all the rabbits needing pellets. Now I gotta find some water. There's some water. It's not frozen. Alright, birds. What's the story? Both of your bins have plenty of feed. I bet you guys probably ate more of that today because you didn't get to go out free range. It's not like you didn't get to, you didn't want to. So, I guess I'll fill up waters and we'll check the refrigerator and the pay box. And we'll take these eggs and we'll get these washed up and dozened up, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, well here we are back at the house to wash eggs and get them boxed up and over into the fridge. So if you guys are interested, I'll show all that, and then we'll check on the baby chicks that hatched the last couple days. Oh crap, I just saw a snowflake. It's gonna snow again, or more sleet or freezing rain, or I don't know what this bipolar weather is. All I know is it's very windy and very cold, and I don't really like it. I'm looking forward to moving to a warmer, drier climate at some point. We'll see if and when that ever happens. Somewhere with a long growing season, but that doesn't have tornadoes, doesn't have hurricanes, doesn't have snow. Occasional rain is fine. Thunder and lightning is fine. I'd prefer no wildfires. Does a place like that even exist? Whoa, easy fella. I'll crack your egg and all the other eggs. Okay, so warmer in here. Alright, give me a second here. Slip my shoes off, or boots. Get my oofus on. And let's get these eggs going. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, it's been a while since I've used this GoPro, so I don't really recall how all this stuff works or what all the settings are, but my phone camera battery is about dead, so I'm going to plug that in and let it charge. We're not able to fly the drone today due to the extremely high wind, and it's so cold out there. I didn't want to stand out there. So I'll show you the process. It's really not a process or anything that anybody probably cares about, but it's just part of my day-to-day with running a chicken ranch and an egg farm. So I will wash these eggs up and I'll box them up. We'll see how many dozens we get, and we'll take them back over to the ranch and we'll put them in the farm stand where people can buy them. I use the float method. Other people say that that doesn't work and it's not reliable. Baby warm bath water is what we use. They say that you shouldn't use cold water because the egg pores will take in bacteria, and you don't want that in your egg. You don't want your customers getting that. That's about baby bath water right there. I just fill up our stainless steel bowl and take these egg cartons out, put them to the side. And I just add as many eggs as I can to where they're all submerged. And then if any start to bob up, I immediately pitch those ones. These are all really pretty clean today. Of course, the girls didn't get out. It was just, they could have if they wanted to. It was just so cold they didn't want to. It really wasn't the temperature that's the issue. It was only like 32 or 31, but it's the wind. We had 35 to 40 mile an hour constant steady wind today, and it just makes it unbearable to be out there. I don't know what the temperature feels like with the wind, but I'm going to say it feels like it's in the teens. You know, certainly in the 20s, but the older I get, the less tolerance I seem to have for the cold. And being from southern Minnesota, I should be just fine with the cold, but I'm not. And here I am on the west coast of Oregon, not really in love with the cold. And it's the moisture here. That's the thing. It's the temperature. It's not that cold. It's so moist. The humidity here. You know, it's 35 degrees, but it's 99% humidity. And it's that humidity that cuts through you, along with the wind. Right. Use one of these Scotch-Brite cut down for scrubbing the eggs. I just kind of lightly scrub, give them a once over. Find that baby bath water temperature again for rinsing. That's a little on the cool side. That'll work right there. So the eggs have a bloom on the outside that protects them from impurities and things getting inside. And I could take these eggs before I got them wet. I could have left the egg basket with the eggs in it on the counter for several weeks, and the eggs are still just as good as they are the day they were laid. Some people didn't know that. But as soon as you wash this bloom off of there, the expiration countdown begins. And you have, safely I would say you have 7 to 8 weeks to consume the eggs or use them up or move them on once they've been refrigerated. And they should be refrigerated pretty soon after you wash them like this. So my goal, what I always do is I try to wash them, box them, and get them in refrigeration. Our eggs sell out same day or next day, so it's never an issue. But I do tell our customers, and it's posted on the refrigerator, that our eggs are washed and that they have approximately 8 weeks from time of purchase to consume them before the eggs would be considered bad. All I'm trying to do here is just rinse the, mud and any bird poop, chicken poop, or, hay or feathers, anything that might not be desirable that somebody could get sick from. I just try to clean it off. We're not required to do that in my state. We're not required to have any certifications or licensing to sell direct to consumer. But if we were to supply a grocery store or any other retail, then we would need from the USDA an egg handler's license, and they got to come out and inspect your facility and make sure that your your water in is clean and that you have a method for your effluent to water out gray water. So where we live, we are city water in, but we're all septics here. We don't have any city sewer system. So they really frown upon this. You can overload your septic system, in their opinion. I think it's complete bunk. You know, they don't want to, the groundwater and the water table, yada, yada, yada. Let me tell you, we don't receive inches of rain here. We receive feet of rain here. So it's just bogus, and it's just another way for the small government overreach to control people's lives. And, you know, lately in Oregon I've been reading that a lot of farms and ranches are being shut down, specifically fowl, chickens and ducks, because of wastewater and runoff, where they're saying that if you don't have a concrete floor in your coop, you have to cease and desist immediately. Who comes up with this stuff? Who's got the right to snoop into your personal life and what you're doing on your property that you pay taxes on, and tell you what you can and can't keep on your property? Literally, there's farms and ranches around here, little homesteads, that, you know, they have 1 or 2 cows and, you know, a dozen or so chickens, a couple pigs, a couple goats, and they've had to get rid of all of their stuff. And they had little like half-acre or acre garden plots where they were growing produce to sell at local farmers markets. They made them stop doing that too. And I don't know how they can possibly do that or get away with doing that. That isn't right, in my opinion. I'm not on the up and up or the all-knowing how all this came about or what's driving this. I live in a very rural, farm-oriented community. Where I live here, it's all farm. Dairy is the #1 industry here. That's what we're known for here in Tillamook, Oregon, is our Tillamook cheese, butter, yogurt, milk. Well, not so much milk, but we're a big dairy community because we supply the Tillamook Cheese Factory, which is, I believe, nationwide now, and I've heard that it's in some foreign countries. I heard that somewhere over, like Japan or somewhere over there, somebody found Tillamook cheese in one of the markets there. So I think that's pretty cool. It's a small community. We're about 2,500 people, and cows outnumber people here 10 to 1. And that's what I do for a living. I run a double tanker truck. And I go at night to all the farms and I pick up the milk. Not all the farms, but I have a route. I have a route of 8 farms one night, 7 farms the next night. And I go and I pick up the milk from the farmers that just milk their cows that day. And I deliver 3 loads a day to the Tillamook, or 3 loads a night to the Tillamook Cheese Factory, for which they will run that through their system, to their cream separator, and they'll get the cream out of the milk, and then that'll go for certain grades of ice cream and certain grades of cheese, and you know, that's what they make their products from. So I believe there's 62 or 63 dairies in the Tillamook Co-op network that supply milk to the Tillamook Cheese Factory. A large portion of those dairies are right here in Tillamook County. There's 6 milk routes from the company that I work for. I drive milk route 1, night shift, and then there's a day shift to that route, and there's route 2, night shift, day shift, route 3, night shift, day shift, route 4, night shift, day shift, Route 5, night shift, day shift, and now a new route, Route 6, just day shift as far as I know. That hasn't grown enough to have a night shift. And I have the opportunity to take that route. So I got to go see it, and I see the farm, see if I like it. It's one farm that ships milks 115,000 pounds a day of milk. That's a lot of milk. Our biggest farm here in Tillamook County produces 250,000 pounds of milk a day on average. That's 250,000 pounds of milk a day on average from one farm. And he gets picked up three to four times a day. He's not on my route, but he has 3 other farms that one of them is on my route, and I pick up 30,000 pounds from him at the beginning of every shift. It is the first farm I go to when I start my route, and it takes me about 30 minutes to get his milk. And then I go to the next farm that's about 18 to 19,000 pounds. I go to the creamery and unload, and my front tanker is where the first farm, I put that all in the front tanker. My front tanker capacity is 43,000 pounds. So the second farm I pick up has to go in the back tanker, and that tanker capacity is 30,000. And then I take that to the creamery, unload it, and then I go to the next 3 farms I'll pick up. One of them is about 9,000 pounds, and then another one is about 28 to 30,000, and then another one is about 22 to 23,000. I'll bring those back, drop those off the creamery, unload, and then I go pick up my last couple for my shift. One of them is a very big farm, and they'll put out about 45,000 on the high side. And then I pick up, depending on the night, an additional 1 or 2 other farms after that one. Some nights it's just one more farm, and they run about 20,000 pounds. Another night it's that farm plus another farm who is a little smaller, and he's an every other day pickup, and he makes about 8,000 to 9,000 pounds of milk every 2 days. So about 4,500 pounds of milk every other day. Or every day is what he makes, and then he gets picked up every other day. So it's just a really cool area and a cool job. I've met a lot of farmers. I've learned so much about the dairy industry and about cows and the different breeds and milk in general. And we used to get these report cards that we would distribute to all the farmers. They were farm specific, and each farm has a producer number. And you would get their report card for your route, and you'd get 7 or 8 report cards for your farms that you're picking up that night, and you'd deliver them. Well, I learned how to read those report cards and determine the health of the farm, the quality of the milk, the quality of the farmer, and all that kind of thing by reading those report cards. And I could tell you who has the best milk in this entire county based on all the report cards I looked at. And I was fortunate enough to have the 2 best farms with the best milk in the whole county, where they consistently were first and second place. They traded back and forth, first and second all the time. They were very small farms. They only produced about 9,000 pounds every other day. But the milk had the neatest smell. I'm not a milk drinker. I don't like it. I don't believe it's for human consumption, but that's just my personal opinion. It doesn't matter. But that milk, when I would open the bulk tank lid at the farm and smell it, that's part of my job as a milk sampler grader, is to make sure there's no off-putting odors or anything like that. I need to make sure the milk is of the proper temperature, the proper color. I need to make sure there's no funk or any chunky stuff or anything weird in it, or smells or anything like that that would be off-putting. And so that's what I do. And his milk was always so so good. It smelled like the sweetest buttercream you could imagine. He was a Holstein and Jersey farm, and the secret was in his feed, whatever he was feeding. And he was a third-generation dairyman. So his father and his father before him cracked the code on that, and they had it down. And that person has since decided to get out of farming, get out of dairy. But his uncle, right up the road from him, is still going and has the same milk, the same feed recipe, the same quality. So I still pick him up. And maybe one of these nights, if there's enough interest, I could bring a camera and I could record what it is, that I do, a day in the life of a milk hauler. I drive a long-nosed Peterbilt semi, and I call it my road train. It's more like a wiggle wagon, but it's, I don't know what I am, probably 75 or 80 feet long, going down the road, a drawbar and converter dolly, or not a converter dolly, but a turntable under the front axles of the back tanker. So I get in some pretty tight places. I got to do some pretty creative maneuvering. A lot of these farms that we go to are really tight, and you got to be a pretty decent doubles driver to get in and out of some of them. I mean, it's nothing that a seasoned veteran driver couldn't handle, or even probably somebody with just moderate experience would probably do it. It's not that special, but when I take people for ride-alongs that want to see the farms and meet the cows and see what I do, they're always amazed at the places we get in and out of with these double sets. So I don't know. Some people would be interested. Some probably wouldn't be, but content nonetheless. So it keeps me busy. My nights run 12 to 14 hours. I should also mention my tankers are non-baffled. They're smoothbore tankers. So we're cruising on the coastal highway, these curvy roads and tight turns and all this stuff with two tanks non-baffled. And the reason they don't have baffles in them is because there's no way to verify sanitation. All those nooks and crannies when you have baffles, these tankers have to be sanitized every 24 hours. So there's a wash that we hook up to at the end of the night when we unload our last load. We do what's called a CIP. It stands for clean in place. And there's a whole system at the creamery that takes it. You hook up these hoses and your farm hose and return hose, so the entire system through the pump and everything gets flushed with caustic acid and another type of sanitation cleaner, and it steams the inside of the tanker to a very high temperature. And we scrub the top, the gasket for the manhole and the platform and the little vent valves and everything. All that gets scrubbed and sanitized. It's kind of a interesting process, but that's the reason that they're smoothbore and that we don't have baffles, is because we wouldn't be able to guarantee sanitized surfaces with all the little nooks and crannies that baffles would create. It would sure be nice, because occasionally we deal with a certain amount of surge in the tankers. I would say the most dangerous time with these tankers is when you're half full. That seems to be when you get the most milk movement, of course. And they sit up tall. They're off of the road a long ways, so there's a high center of gravity. But they do handle well, I'll say that. And I like them. I like driving them. I've always been partial to tankers. I've never liked, dry vans or reefers or anything like that. That never tripped my trigger, but tankers, double tankers, I've always, since I was a little kid, thought they were really neat and I always wanted to drive them. So I've been doing it on and off for a little while, a couple of years. Before that, I drove a water tanker, and And I didn't drive trucks for a while. I burned out, and I just always seem to find myself back in one. I don't know. Every place I go to work, I find out I can drive one. Oh, okay. We need somebody to this, that, and the other. Oh, great. I end up back in one. At my age now, I don't even fight it. When I was younger, it drove me crazy because I had to be active. I needed to be out and about. I couldn't stand to be cooped up in a truck. And years ago, I drove a dump truck for a construction company, and my whole day, 12 hours a day, was in the seat of that truck. We rarely got to get out. So this job's kind of cool because I drive for 30 or 40 minutes, and then I'm out for 30 or 40 minutes. I drive for 25 minutes, I'm out for 15 or 20. So it's kind of equal amount of out of the seat as it is to drive time. And the company I work for has really nice equipment. They take a lot of pride in their trucks. They're young people, but they're old school. He grew up around trucks, and it's kind of his whole life, just like I was when I was a little kid, And he grew up at a time when big rigs were still big rigs. They didn't look like these, moon rover vehicles or whatever these new goofy looking trucks are. I understand why they do it, but he still has a pretty nice fleet of classic long nose trucks. Even some of them, I think all of them except maybe two are newer that have the DEF and all the emission stuff on them, but they still look like trucks. They get custom paint jobs, and they get all the lights and all the cool stuff on them. So it's not like you go drive for somebody else that's just got plain Jane junk. You can tell this company really likes to set their drivers up. They're really good people, so I really like them, and I'm happy working here for the most part. It gives me, I work 3 days on, and then I work 3 days on, 3 days off, and then my next week, 4 days on, 4 days off. So I get lots of overtime, and this is just Clorox cleaner. I always spray down the scrub pads in the bowl when I'm done. I let it do its thing for a little while. What was I saying? Oh, my schedule. So effectively, I work 14 hours, or 14 days a month, and I have the other half of the month off by working that schedule. So that's why I like it so much. It gives me a lot of time off to do the things that I like to do and stuff that's important to me. Boy, our ratio of light brown eggs to dark brown eggs is just not great today. That means some of my younger birds are laying more than my older birds. There's 1 dozen. So yeah, let me know if anybody's interested and would like to see, a day in the life of a milk hauler. I can try to make that happen. I can try to set up my stuff and try to video my route and where I go and what I do. I don't know if I'll be able to show every detail. I don't know if the creamery allows that, or maybe as long as I block out where it is or who it is, and don't include any names, even though I've already said who it is. That might be able to happen. I don't know. Maybe it's not a big deal at all. People could do research and figure out where I am and what I do and all that. It's not, this day and age, nothing's a secret anymore, I feel like. But I think it'd be cool to showcase all that stuff. It's a big part of the community, and it affords me the lifestyle that I live, and it allows me to have this chicken ranch, and it allows me to have free time to make make videos. I'm not very good at it, but I just started, so please do bear with me on that. I'll try to get better. Tonight I'm going to play with editing stuff a little bit and see if I can start stringing some of these videos together. These are eggs left over from yesterday that I filled all my dozens. So, shoot, we're short one egg. Maybe there will be one more egg when I get there. Sometimes I have a late layer. It's pretty common when I go back to close them up for the night that there will be, 2 to 4 more eggs laid. So I'll put these back up here. And we'll take those back over and we'll see. Maybe there is another egg. So anyway, that is what I do in a nutshell. I'd be happy to share that with anybody that's interested. It's my hope that we can grow this channel a little bit and showcase more of the stuff, the day-to-day activities. Right now it's pretty boring just given the weather and time of day and all that kind of thing, but things will pick up, it'll get better. We'll be doing more in the farmhouse, we'll be doing more outside. I'm going to put in a pond for our ducks, which I'll show you guys in a little bit when we come back. We got to go in there and clean out the baby chicks area, and we got to clean out the ducks and get them some fresh water and all their stuff, get them set for the evening. So let's go put these eggs in the fridge over at the farm or the ranch and button up the chickens, and we'll come back and we'll look at the baby ducks and the baby chicks. Alright, we're back. Here's where we have the little baby birdies, little baby duckies. The ducks are khaki Campbells, and then the baby chicks, we have 2 different age classes. We have these guys here in front. Those little guys are day old, 2-day old, and 3-day old. And then these guys a little further back in the metal trough. They're a little older. They're going on 2 weeks old now, and they're starting to feather out, so they're going to transition over to the farm pretty soon. As you can see, the conditions in here are not the cleanest, so it's time to clean their cages and their waters and get them all set up, fresh food and fresh water. So that's what I'll be working on, and then hopefully I can string some videos together tonight.